Hi. We are playing some spooky games today, and they are all developed by solo developers, which I think is really cool as a solo developer myself. Um, it's really it's really awesome seeing people be able to make things that are just completely their own, without a big team, which obviously big teams put in a lot of work too, and not to um whatever on them, but I think it's really awesome when solo developers can do that too. So I figured we could check out all three of these today. Now, two of them are a lot shorter. The two that we're starting out with are going to be the shorter ones, and they don't have content warnings or anything on them. For the second one, in case you want to dip, if it's a little too challenging or triggering or whatever for you to get through, Annie and the art gallery does have suicide and mental health warning, so if that's something that will bother you, then you can just stick around for the first two, because the first two didn't have anything about it. Obviously, I can't help if there are triggers that aren't stated, but I think we're good. This game actually started right off the bat. He actually walked all the way across the screen already, but I figured you guys didn't need to see that part, so, importantly. I don't know why this isn't picking up the audio real quick. Hold on. Let's see. There is sound, but it's not working for you guys. Strange. Doesn't seem like it'll be doing anything, which is weird. It's set on the right thing, so if it doesn't catch, then it doesn't catch, but it's only like a 15-minute game. Alright. Hello, Mr. Rabbit. Okay. I know this was a conversation with Mr. Rabbit, but I wasn't expecting him to be a literal rabbit that we were talking to, for whatever reason. Okay. Hello, human. Mr. Rabbit, I brought you some carrots. I hope they're to your liking. Thank you, human. That's very nice of you. You're welcome, Mr. Rabbit. I hope that this small token of peace will have you consider having a conversation with me. Human, I can tell there is something greatly afflicting you. Is he like some weird omniscient god or something? You're indeed correct, Mr. Rabbit. How'd you know? Nature's creations have very keen senses that allow us to perceive things humans may not so easily see. Rabbits are no exception. Seems we could learn a thing or two from your kind, Mr. Rabbit. That may be so. Human, I ask you again, what has been afflicting you so harshly? 1,000 pardons, Mr. Rabbit, but it's extremely hard to talk about what has been afflicting me. There's no need to rush, human. Take your time to gather your thoughts. I shall be waiting patiently for you to find your words. Thank you, Mr. Rabbit. What an understanding guy. I'm just having trouble coming to terms with what's been going on in my life. Mr. Rabbit, my heart feels extremely heavy, and it feels like it's an effort to breathe. Human, I do not sense any grave injuries on you. You appear to be fine on the outside. Mr. Rabbit, that's correct. Indeed, there's no physical harm to me or my internals. I wonder if this is translated from another language, or if it's just worded strangely. Human, I understand now. Is your heart heavy and you're breathing hard because of an emotional injury? Correct again, Mr. Rabbit. These conditions I'm facing are most troublesome to bear. There's no medicine or healing potion that can make the pain go away. Human, it is okay to feel troubled like this. Gotta love the therapy rabbit. Emotional pain can be harder to heal than a physical wound. Mr. Rabbit, I could really use some rest. Then lay down in this little garden for 1,000 years if need be, human. Rest, human. You need it. Mother, sorry? Carrots, nice human. Oh, that was probably the rabbit string. Okay. Mr. Rabbit, I do feel a bit better after that. I'm glad to hear that, human. Human, do you wish to talk about why you think you've been so emotionally injured? Mr. Rabbit, I'm afraid if I share the reason for my affliction, you will cease to support me and deem me a failure, unworthy of life. Oh god, what'd he do? What'd he do? This is a horror game. It has to take a turn at some point. Human, I am not one of such simple mind. Clearly what has been afflicting you, this gravely, must surely be serious enough for a discussion. Mr. Rabbit, I'm a coward, and I ran away. Truly, Mr. Rabbit, the very ground from which the dirt resides in has much greater value than myself. This guy really hates himself. Mr. Rabbit, I deserve nothing else than to lie down here, die, and let the earth have my body. Because then, for once, I would be providing something of use in my life. I wish my birth were a choice, Mr. Rabbit. Human. Mr. Rabbit, I can totally understand if you wish to leave my presence right now. Human, I'm in pain too, human. As the bunny also craved death. I am hurting as well. We rabbits are at the bottom of the food chain. We're extremely anxious creatures. We'll hide from anything that can be perceived as even the slightest threat. Human, this is the way I am. I often wonder if I will always live through life like this. Human, I don't want to be scared anymore. I want to learn to trust. I want to feel safe. Will I ever truly be free? Or will I overcome these feelings, or simply learn to live with them? Human, I am tired of running into my burrow all the time. Okay. Mr. Rabbit, thank you for not judging me so harshly, and for sharing these deeply personal matters. It's no trouble, Human. We can often learn a lot from each other. Human, know this. I shall not leave your side. Mr. Rabbit, I must express my thanks again towards you. I hope one day we may both be free from our own faults. We still don't know what his faults are, other than he feels like he should not have been born because of them. Also, that tree, like the second one on the bottom, is looking a little weird. I wonder if it's a monster tree. I'm just trying to figure out where this is going to go wrong. These faults may be beyond our control. However, if we're willing to be brave enough, we may cut through them. That's correct, Mr. Rabbit. You're very wise. And you are a lot braver than you think, Human. Never forget that. I say this to you, Human, because it's very clear to anyone that you are in fact very brave, and certainly not worthy of death. Though I must ask, Human, what events have transpired to make you think you're a coward? Okay, we're getting into it now. Thank you, Mr. Rabbit. I guess it is appropriate that I share what happened to me. My ears are big and standing tall. Do tell, Human. Well, Mr. Rabbit, this kingdom appears to be having skirmishes with another adjacent kingdom. It's always been my dream to be a knight, and I just became old enough to enlist. It was the perfect opportunity to fulfill my dreams and make a name for myself. I walked right into the guard station to join. I did, Mr. Rabbit. Come back here at dawn tomorrow, and we shall have you fighting on the battlefield in a week, they said. Surely enough, I finished my training. They told me to go home, sleep, and report first thing in the morning. The morning came, and, well, Mr. Rabbit, I don't know what happened, but very terrible feelings came down upon me. My chest was tight. It became hard to breathe. My stomach felt like a bottomless pit, and all I could think about was something along the lines of, Dear Lord, help me, oh God. I want to get out of here. I don't want to do this. Help. So I stayed inside, and I did not show up as I promised to do. I don't know why I find that so funny. He said it all jumbled like that. So I figured I'd bring some vegetables and see some animals in this little trove while I figure some things out. Being a knight is all I ever wanted to be. I knew the dangers that came with such a thing. So how could I be so scared that I could not even bring myself to open the door? I hate myself, Mr. Rabbit. I hate myself so much. Don't say that, Human. I see someone with a big heart, a strong soul, and most importantly, someone who would make an excellent knight. Do you really think so, Mr. Rabbit? Are you sure he'd make an excellent knight? Because it doesn't sound like he wants to be in combat at all. I know so, Human. When a seed is planted, it takes time to grow. It may not be able to bear ripe fruit right away. Both humans and animals are no exception to this. Human, you just need more time to bear your fruits. Mr. Rabbit, how right you are once again. I do find myself in agreement with what you said. I'm happy to hear that, Human. I shall take your advice to heart and plant myself right by your side, Mr. Rabbit. I have no qualms with that, Human. By all means, take your time. Well, Mr. Rabbit, I think it's time for me to go. Is nothing bad going to happen? What are you going to do now, Human? I shall return home and try to see if they will let me go back into battle, Mr. Rabbit. If I am banished for my mistake, then so be it. I shall plant myself here until I can make something out. That's a fine plan, human. I commend you for it. And I shall await your return. I will be here in this place for you, no matter what. Thank you, Mr. Rabbit. It's been fun. I shall depart now. Once again, I thank you, Mr. Rabbit, from the bottom of my heart. I share the same feelings too, human. Go now, human, and be the best you can possibly be. Same to you, Mr. Rabbit. I bid you farewell. What's gonna happen? Is he gonna die terribly in battle? Why'd you pause for a second? Why are you pausing? Hello, Mr. Rabbit. Oh no. He did indeed get wounded terribly in battle. Okay. Hello, human. I'm so glad I was able to meet you again, Mr. Rabbit. I seem to be worried over nothing at all, Mr. Rabbit. When I came back to the military post, they didn't speak a word about my situation. They handed me my sword and gear and sent me off to battle. I was finally a knight, Mr. Rabbit. It seemed that every mother's son was laid upon that battlefield. Lasted for a while it did, Mr. Rabbit. But now that I've returned safely, I must say, I'm rather tired, Mr. Rabbit. I don't think you really returned safely. If it's no trouble, I would like to lay down with you once again. Of course, human. You seem to have overcome your doubts. I knew you were very brave. It's all thanks to you, Mr. Rabbit. Just rubbing salt in the wound, making him feel like it's his fault. It's all thanks to you. Okay. Is that it? Alright, interesting. Wasn't exactly the horror that I was looking for. But it told a story. It was interesting. Kind of sad. I feel like it would make a good, short story to read. But I did like the art. Just wasn't... Definitely doesn't fit in... Is it listed as horror? Am I just fucking stupid? I might just be stupid. It might have just been listed as, dark or something, and my dumbass was just like, oh, must be scary. Oh well. I enjoyed it. Just wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting some terrible thing to happen. I was expecting the rabbit to become, some eldritch monster for the guy to, randomly murder the poor thing. Yeah, it's just listed as a dark and bloody twist. Okay. So that was my assumption. Whoops. Still nice, though. Nice little thing. Alright, let's move on. This next one is going to be Adventure in My Head. This one has, an age... Very loud. It has an age warning and stuff on it, but